Solving exponential equations, part 1. So in this question we have to find x that would balance this equation. On the left hand side you see a number to exponent 2x minus 4, and on the right hand side you'll see square root 784 to exponent x. So the first thing that we will do now is to eliminate the square root by squaring both sides of the equation. So let's do that. So to the power of 2, right hand side, and to the power of 2. Why do we do that? Let's recall the reason. A square root a simply means a to exponent 1 over 2. So when you square that square root like so, you should get a to 1 over 2 squared, which is just a. So our goal is to eliminate this square root symbol. So now the left hand side will be 28 2. What do you do with that exponent? You have to apply the distributive law. So 2 times 2x, so this is 4x, minus 2 times 4, which is 8. And on the opposite side, so according to this rule right here, we should eliminate the square root symbol altogether. So our right hand side will be that number 784 to exponent x. Okay, so the next step will be to identify how can I match 28 and 784. So by inspection, when you use your calculator, 784 is 28 squared. So you can check that. So now you're going to replace 784 with 28 to the power of 2. So the left hand side remains the same. And now we can show this right hand side as 28 squared to the power of x, which means now you have to multiply the exponent. So this is 28 to 2x, and on that side you have 28 4x minus 8. Okay, so what do you see now? That we have a statement, an equation that has identical base on both sides. So if the left side was to be equal to the right side, this would imply that the exponents 4x minus 8 and the exponents 2x are to be equal. So let's solve that linear equation. So 4x minus 2x is equal to positive 8. So 2x is equal to 8. Therefore, x is equal to 4. So 4 is a positive number, and when we go back and review exponents, any number can be used to find a power of 28 or put to exponent 4 any real number, and you can find the solution. So in order to see if this is the correct answer, you would want to substitute 4 into the original equation, and you would have to see in the process that the left side is equal to the right side. So this is for that equation, and we'll continue with new equation in a second. Okay, so now new equation. The left hand side, the base is 3, exponent x squared minus 2. The right hand side 1 over 27 to exponent x over 3. So this is the exponent. So we need to be able to combine these two sides or find a way of equating left-hand side with right-hand side that is beneficial to this equation. So the base on the left-hand side is 3, and 1 over 27 we can think of converting it into power of 3. So let us go back and recall the negative exponent rule. So a to negative n is equivalent to 1 over a to exponent n. Okay. Then we can work in the same fashion with a rational expression to negative exponent. So when you do the reciprocal up above, right now you would be flipping b over a to exponent n. Okay, so how those two formulas will help me with what I have over here, 1 over 27. So I can see 1 over 27 as 1 over 3 cubed. And in the process, I can show that this is equal to positive 3 to negative 3. So this is with, according to that formula right above, right here. So 1 over 3 cubed, so that will be this side, is equal to positive 3, so that's my base, to negative exponent. So when we do that, we will have an equation that has, this is my exponent, so let me just erase that and do it better. You always want to do better. So x squared minus 2 will be equal to positive 3 negative 3 times x over 3, which is the exponent. So the left side will simply be x squared minus 2 as far as the exponent. The right hand side now, we have base 3. When you multiply a fraction by that negative 3, you will end up with negative x. So as the previous question, now you have power of 3 on both sides. You need to find what x value would make it equal. So if I think of a to n is equal to a to n, so this is a very similar situation. So this will conclude that in order for this side to be equal to that side, m must be equal to n. So this is why you will say that x squared minus 2 is equal to negative x. So when you attempt to solve that quadratic equation, you will see that by moving negative x and placing it on the opposite side, you will have a quadratic equation that needs to be solved for x. So let's solve it by factoring, and so the product is negative 2, the sum is 1. So the factors that will solve that will be x minus 1 times x plus 2 is equal to 0. You still have to find x, so the first binomial will give me x is equal to 1 or x is equal to negative 2. Now, both values of x, positive or negative, can be used to find the exponent and therefore evaluate the power of 3. So there is no need for us to be concerned whether the numbers should be positive or negative. Both numbers should work when we want to verify the solution. So you would say let If x is equal to 1, then the left side would have value 3 and 1 squared minus 2, and that will be 3 to negative 1. And for the right side, you will have 1 over 27 to the power of 1/3. So cube root from 127 will give you 1/3. 3 to negative 1, remember this is equivalent to 1/3, so now you can say left side is equal to right side. And I know that when you do the substitution when x is equal to negative 2, you will also be able to confirm that the statement is